and welcome back once again to Sharekhan Education. My name is Behzad, and today I'm going to help you understand exactly how are we supposed to take some counter trading trades along with the confirmations on the charts. कभी कभी हमें ट्रेंड को वेट करना चाहिए रिवर्स करने के लिए, शायद डबल बॉटम्स के लिए हमें वेट करना चाहिए, शायद हमें पिवट्स के लिए वेट करना चाहिए. सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल आई एम गोइंग टू help you to understand how are we a part of HDFC Life monthly income trade setup. We are still a part of that particular trade, how it is going to help us to achieve our 2 is to 1 or 3 is to 1 targets. And you can also correlate along with another example of UPL also, जहां पर हमें वापस से एक डबल बॉटम या डबल पिवट्स का कंफर्मेशन मिल रहा है. So let's get started. And I'm going to show you exactly that we have generated a call on 13th February, an additional XLT educational call, जो हम HDFC लाइफ और WIT सेटअप या मंथली इनकम सेटअप्स के भी पर्सपेक्टिव से आप इसे देख सकते हैं. नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. So location wise कह रहा है कि they are showing some signs of reversals from the weekly demands or from the monthly demands. Daily trend is still down, but it is reversing from the earlier pivot, and it should move sideways and then turn up once 620 levels are taken out. Okay, so you can buy on 75 minutes tranche number 1 at 588 levels, and you can or नीचे जाता है, then you can buy at 577 levels tranche 2, placing a stop loss of 560 on closing basis. Okay, so let me explain you this particular stock. Beautiful setup. आप इसे दोनों तरफ में ले सकते हैं, MIT के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी ले सकते हो, WIT के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी ले सकते हो. Let me start on first with the broader time frame. So this is exactly what has happened with HDFC Life. This is the current month on my monthly chart. I'm going to hide this since the call was created on 13th February. So मैं मार्च का महीना थोड़ा सा छुपा रहा हूँ यहाँ. Okay, so let me hide this over here. Okay, and let's see this. The stock little bit under pressure, but approaching the monthly demand zone. So let's see on the weekly charts, and some situation over here is like this. You are approaching weekly demand zone. There are multiple weekly demand zones, level below level. You're not sure which one is going to work, which means मुझे थोड़ा सा confirmation की जरूरत है. Okay, so one confirmation is like, yeah, you are holding on to these levels. Second time also you're holding on to these levels. Third time also you're holding on to these levels. So location wise, yes, you can say you're a little bit low on the curve, but yes, you are under pressure. तो सवाल ये आता है कि अगर मान लेते हैं ये स्टॉक चल गया, एग्जाम्पल, if this works in your favor, what should be the next target or what could be the next target? Answer is, first I'm going to look at 640, 650 levels. Again, then probably I'm going to look at 700 levels. So location wise, it's a really big target. However, I need some more signs, more stability. So when I go on to daily chart, now look what I've written over here on the daily chart. The trend is still down, but reversing from the earlier pivot. Okay, which means I'm trying to understand कि एक बार एक pivot आ जाता है like this. No doubt about it. The trend over here is down, absolutely down. Okay, so this particular pivot was created on 6th February. Call है हमारा 13th February का. So this pivot is created. Now, point to be noted is the trend is solid down. अब ये जरूरी नहीं है कि pivot चलेगा ही चलेगा. There is also a possibility that this pivot might break and the trend might continue to fall down. I mean, 570 can become 550, 540, 530, 520. ये और भी नीचे आ सकता है. Now, how reliable is this pivot? That only time will tell. So no doubt about it. One thing is you have a solid pivot. Okay, so with good confirmation you can trust the pivot. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कल ऊपर चला जाएगा stock. Maybe 580 can become 590, 600, 620, 640. You might miss out on the opportunity. That's the reason what I've written over here is it is likely to move sideways after a downtrend. Okay, it should consolidate and now it should move sideways. Look at this. It is halting inside the range of 590, 600 or 560 levels. It should move sideways. So ऐसा भी हो सकता है ये ऊपर blast हो जाएगा. Try to jump in the stock and buy at the first tranche. Let's buy at the first tranche at the current market price at 588 levels. आप jump कीजिए. हालांकि अगर वापस U-turn लेकर नीचे आता है, if it falls down, if it touches the half point of the pivot, normally after consolidation phase, when you see such a strong pivot, normally the stock comes to 50% of this pivot range. So you have two options. Option number one, jump at the very current price of 588 levels. Immediately you jump. Or you jump at the 50% areas of 577 levels or anywhere inside this range over here like this. So then it brings you to an average costing. Let me write over here average costing. आपका हो जाता है 588 and 577 approximately 582 half और 583. Okay, ये आपका approximate costing हो जाता है if you have bought at both of these levels over here. Now, costing is not an important thing. I always emphasize one thing is whether this level will work or not. That is the main thing because you have invested your money as a part of MIT or WIT trader. अब ये चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा, that is an important thing. So you give me a good stop loss. Ideally, when you have these sort of structures, when you have good levels bouncing from weekly and monthly and daily demand zones, ideally pivot के नीचे हम stop loss place कर सकते हैं. Okay, so this is a good example of a pivot, strong pivot, or a 50% average costing pivot over here, and then it is expected to rally further higher, higher, and higher, like this, slowly, steadily, sideways move करेगा. So I've written over here that it is expected the trend is down, but reversing from the earlier pivot should move sideways and then turn up. So perfectly, आप अगर ध्यान से देखेंगे, trend तो down था, हमने first tranche तो buy कर लिया है, but then it is expected that stock time pass करेगा. इतना heavy down trend के बाद, it is expected कि stock थोड़ा time pass करेगा. And you have to keep some patience also. So when it starts to pass out some time, hold on to the pivots. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, in fact. सो भरोसा रखना चाहिए कि स्ट्रेंथ के ऊपर ये स्ट्रेंथ काफी अच्छा है पिवटिंग स्ट्रेंथ आपका काफी अच्छा है and then it starts to move up and goes up okay so what does it say it's once it takes out 620 level or 620 levels now this was a troublesome area for me look at this earlier this was one troublesome area for me yeah 619.5 or 620 level from where you fell down touched your half pivot again सेकेंड ट्रांच आपने यहाँ पे बाय किया है सो एक बार 620 निकल जाता है ना देन आई एम गुड ब्रीथ अ साई ऑफ रिलीफ ओवर हियर so this is what it happens 1620 is started to take up make a higher rising demand zone or a strong candle followed by another demand zone then you are relieved now okay fine 620 निकल जाएगा so जब 620 निकल जाएगा पहला हर्डल निकल जाएगा I don't see this is a good quality supply कोई प्रॉब्लम जैसा तो नहीं है हालांकि ठीक है you can say 650 should be my first target and 670 should be the second target but we can trail the targets with our comfort the more better signs we see on the price chart solid green signs now started to see on the chart so now there's a concept of trailing stop loss so ये बहुत बहुत बढ़िया चीज है जब डबल पिवट्स को या डबल बॉटम्स को हम रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं एक थरो बेस आपका बन जाता है and normally mostly I would say 80 or 90% or maybe more than 90% of the times ये सारी चीजें actually broader time frame से ही शुरू होता है monthly weekly daily when all these things actually comes into picture and then double bottoms comes into picture that's where the trend actually starts to turn up so it's a good example of double bottoms and we are actually a part of the trade right now we have not booked any profits हालांकि आप बुक कर सकते हो अगर आपको कंटिन्यू नहीं करना है तो बट वी आर स्टिल अ पार्ट ऑफ इट exactly same example is UPL if you see this after a solid downtrend area in price let's have a look at multiple time frames you are inside a monthly demand zone you're inside a weekly U-turn weekly demand zone you're inside you don't have a daily demand but finally, after a pivot, the stock has started to make double bottoms. Or exactly double bottoms is की buying शुरू हुई है. Okay, so I know the target is good for me. Okay, you can say the gap should be the first target. 530 should be the first target. So I know this is a good area for me, good target for me. So one is how you jump in the stock, and second is how you place the stop loss or where you place the stop loss. Stop loss has to be here. Once you get the stop loss, I mean, you can do whatever you want. So identical scenarios. One is आपका HDFC Life, second is UPL. Of course, Asian Paints also shows the same things on the chart. You can compare Asian Paints. Yeah. Okay, so Asian Paints ने भी वैसे ही किया है. It's bouncing from your monthly demand zones, weekly demand zones. Now the buyings are started to come up this week and last week, and daily chart also. Then you can see a pivot or a double bottom, and then little bit of buying activity is started to come in. So first target again is the gap. Second target is this gap over here for Asian Paints. So identical patterns, HDFC Life, UPL, Asian Paints, and the list can go on and go on. Okay, so try finding such stocks, but with a promise कि आपको पहले pivot मिलना चाहिए, broader time frame support करना चाहिए, stop loss support करना चाहिए, and then you can go on. You need to keep some patience. That's why these things are typically MIT and WIT setups, but you need to have a lot of patience and good structures on the chart. Okay, so that's it, friends. I hope this video was useful to you. For more such videos, keep on watching us and comment. If you've liked it, share your comments. And if something else you wanted, to let me know. I can post on some more education topics as per your choice and convenience. Thanks a lot. See you all the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.